Hi,
And
Cassie.
hi, Eric. What's new in
It's
life? You
so
got a story to
weird.
tell me.
Oh yeah, story,
Great.
story, story.
Had a story
So,
to tell me.
as you know, I've been making burrito things for my lunches for work, right? So here's the story, and I still to this moment have no idea what happened. This morning, I got one of my other freezer bag, put it in a bag like I do to bring to work with me. I am like 90% positive that when I got in my car, I put it in my backpack for work. I got to work, I went to go eat and get my lunch, and it's not in my backpack. I
And
it's
it's not in your car?
it's not in my car.
Like,
It's not on
hmm.
my counter. I don't know if I'm crazy, if someone stole it, or what possibly could have happened.
Did you leave your backpack unattended at work?
I mean, technically yes, but like not in anywhere that someone's
Hmm.
gonna go and like get it, right? It's not like it's in a break room or like in a fridge or
I
something.
wouldn't. I wouldn't put that past our coworkers. No, it's a little far. But so you didn't have lunch today?
No,
That's so sad
it was
for
a
you.
easy day, so it wasn't an issue. But like,
Yeah.
I'm still confused as what happened because I got home, didn't even think about it because I'm not, obviously not used to seeing it like it sitting on my counter. But then a little while later,
Yeah.
after being at home for like an hour or so, I was like, wait a minute, it's not on my counter either. What
Hmm.
happened to it?
Did you check your whole backpack?
I did, yeah.
Because I was thinking maybe you thought you put it like in the front pocket or is in the main pocket or vice versa.
Well, I'm gonna check them again because there is a chance that's what happened. But I checked it, and as far as I can tell, it's not in any other pocket. It's not like it's so small that it disappear.
Right. I just I hope you find it soon
Because
instead
otherwise,
of
it's
later.
just somewhere.
Like 2 months from now, you're like, there's that burrito.
Well, the crazy part, like I said, is I'm almost positive I remember putting it in my backpack this morning. Otherwise, I'd be like, oh, I just left it like in the freezer, maybe tossed it back in after I pulled it out of the bag or something.
Do you know how many burritos you made?
I know how many. Well, I don't. I said I know how many I made, but I
Mm.
don't know how many I
So
have left. I
you
guess.
can't even count how many burritos are in the freezer to know if that was yesterday or today.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Because what if what you're remembering was what you did yesterday
I mean, I
and you
guess
just
it's
thought you
possible,
did
and
it
I'm
today?
just that like forgetful. But I feel like I'm a little young to be already having this like level of forgetfulness.
I mean,
I mean, for you,
nah,
it'd be like par for the course, but for me, it's weird.
you're fairly forgetful.
I am, but I
But
don't think I'm that
also,
forgetful.
listen, everyone's forgetful and everybody does things. It's just like once you hit a certain age, then people are like worried about it, right? I don't know if I've told you a story, but like my mom one time when my sister, I think she was at my sister's house, or maybe it was when my sister still lived with her. I don't know. But my mom went in the kitchen and my sister had started boiling a pot of water and forgot about it. And then the pot was burning on the stove. And my mom specifically told her, like, you better be careful because, in a few decades, like, people are going to be concerned.
Isn't that what they mean when they say I burn water?
Probably. I don't know. Yeah, when you're little, it's because you don't know better. And then you have this period of time where it's just like, oh, well, life's hectic. You forgot. Oh, poor you. Right. And then you hit this age where they're like, you just can't be trusted any
And that's the
longer.
stage you're at?
Not yet. I have like maybe 5 more years.
You're being generous. You have like three,
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
maybe less. Probably less.
It just, you think I have less than 3 years?
Yeah, before you're like considered. Well, okay. So I looked this up the other day. There is no official age technically, but
Oh,
as far as medicine and like stuff is considered because of like healthcare and whatever yada yada, um, geriatric is considered 65. So you have like 2 years left.
okay. Yeah, so I got some time. It's fine. That's a long time, 2 years.
I mean,
I'll be all right.
2 years is 2 years is a long time for like a 4-year-old when it's literally half of their life.
As I just said, it's a long time.
I was gonna be like, can you imagine being a kid? No. Do you remember being a kid
I
and
can't
like
imagine.
being at that age where the concept of like two
Hmm.
or 3 years felt like a lot because it was most of your life?
Yes. I probably have told you this before, but my cousin, my like older cousin, he had his first kid. He was in his 20s, but his first kid. I was 15. And I remember distinctly holding the little baby and thinking, wow, when they're my age, I'll be 30. That was 5 years ago that I turned 30. And so
Yikes.
it's like, but when I'm 15, imagining being 30 is like, that's so far from
It's
now. That's
literally your entire lifespan.
also, I was talking uh, to Trey. I feel like I should mention that's my husband. I feel like maybe some people wouldn't know that. But I was talking to him about how it's really weird when you're a kid because you live in a house for 10 years and that's like your whole life, you know? Like, wow, that's, you know, but as an adult, you're sort of like 10 years in a house, you're like, well, it's not that long.
Kind of unrelated.
Like, it's a long time, but some people move a lot, you know?
Kind of unrelated, but do you think that's why kids, especially like around 10ish, are so impatient? Because to them, like a week is a pretty significantly larger portion of their life than it is for like us.
Yeah.
So it's like, I have to wait a month for something to happen. And it's like, yeah, but for a month, that's like a percentage-wise so much more of their life that they have to wait and pseudo-waste than for an adult where you're like, I have to wait a month. That's...
Okay, I don't know if you can relate to this feeling since you were homeschooled, but summer vacation felt like forever when you were a kid. Like, the last day of school, you were like, I have years before I have to go back.
Even though realistically, it's like, what? 2 months, month and a half.
It's like 2 months. Yeah, it's like roughly 2 months, maybe 2.5 months, just depending. But that felt like forever. You felt like a whole new person by the time you had to go back to school. You're like, my life has changed drastically, and really nothing happened. You didn't do anything, but for some reason, it just felt like this never-ending expanse of time. And now it's like summer's just blink and it's over, you know?
Whereas, like, as an adult, you'll go 2 months without seeing, like, some of your best friends because you're like, it's not that much time. Well, how has it been that long?
You're like, what? I haven't seen you in like a week or something, right? They're like, it's been 10 years. And you're like, oh, really? Oh.
You're like, oh, well, I never noticed.
I was laughing about this because Trey has this friend, Felicia, and it's really cool. They've been friends, I think, since middle school. High school for sure, but I think middle school is actually when they started being friends. And it was really funny because her daughter is in middle school. And we were hanging out one time and she was trying to explain to her daughter that, like, I have been friends with Trey since I was your age, right? Like, so imagine you having a best friend right now in middle school and you guys are friends until you're like 40. You know, to us, we're like, wow, that's such a long time to have a friend. And you could tell her daughter was just like, I don't care. And also, like, you know how kids just are like, even if they love their parents and they do like hear their parents and stuff, it's like, you're like, I don't care about your friends.
It's like,
you know,
it's like,
I'm
but
12.
also, I don't care.
But also in this weird way of like, you do weirdly feel like your friends you have, you're like, why wouldn't I be friends with them forever? But then as you get older, you know, you just drift apart from people and whatever. And so it's like, you just don't think about it.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
So you want to know something that I've always thought was weird, and this is not going to seem weird to you, obviously. But like, so when I was growing up, obviously being homeschooled, right? It's like when you met someone that was the same age as you, to me, it felt cool. It's like we can be best friends because we're the same age. And then you think about it, or at least I think about it from like somewhere in there, I had this realization of the like people that go to public schools. It's like you are basically forced to go to class with / almost be friends with people that are nothing but your age or just slightly off on either side.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's so weird to me because growing up, I think I only knew like 2 people that were like my age specifically.
That you weren't related to.
That it wasn't related. Well, I mean, even then, because they're technically older or younger. But yeah, but it's like 1 or 2 people
that's true.
that were like neighbors or friends that are around the right age, like the same age, like same exact age. And it was such a novel, weird thing to me. And then I suddenly had the realization of like, that's a normal thing for most people.
To think about it, there are some people that I went to school with from, you know, like elementary school through high school, whatever. So there's people I knew for, we'll just say like half my life kind of thing at this point. Like people I saw 5 days a week for years, I don't know them. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of weird to think about that you could see someone that much and spend that much time with someone and you're like, we're not friends. I don't know you. We were classmates. That was it.
Well, the crazy part is the concept to me is the concept of like, these are people that you, assuming you specifically lived in one place your entire life, or at least all your schooling life. And like most of the kids that were going there also stayed in that area. That means that like you had these people that you knew from basically kindergarten all the way up through like at least high school, like graduating high school, half of which were just there because you never really talked to them. And
you're just passing through each other's lives.
You just automatically had this group of people that just went through that whole stage of life with. which is like kind of interesting from my perspective.
Well, yeah, because it's really funny to think that I'm surrounded by kids my age for years and years and years, and we almost kind of don't interact with each other. You know, like you had your friends, but then there's so many kids that you knew them, but you didn't hang out with them and spend a lot of time with them or anything. And to me, it's okay, cool, see you some other time, right? And you're like, wow, I only know 2 people. I had like growing up is like such an abundance of kids that you're sort of like, I don't need to be best friends with everybody.
Well,
it's fine.
And then to me, it's interesting. I mean, obviously, I never went through that experience, so I like don't have the
Yeah.
experience. But like, it's interesting to me when you then have the kids that are like, "Oh, I don't have any friends," and it's like, how? Out of all those people, how are you not friends with at least one of them? Like, that seems weird to me.
That would make me really sad, actually, to know that someone I went to school with didn't have friends. Because I always felt like, and I mean, obviously, I didn't know everyone personally, so I can't say, but I always felt like everyone at least had someone they ate lunch with. You know what I mean?
And yet, the
like,
thing is, intellectually, there probably was at least one that didn't really have friends.
Yeah.
I guess statistically, there has
statistically. But that makes me sad.
Turns out
I would have been their
Nobody
friend.
liked you in school. They just pretended.
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. It's fine. I don't care if you pretend while we're at school. I just want to go to school and feel like I had a friend.
You just want someone to pretend. You want someone's parent to be like, you need to be friends with that kid because they need friends.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I just, that would suck to go to school and not feel like you had a friend at school.
I mean,
like you don't, like when you have to pair up in class for something and you don't immediately have the person that you're trying to get paired up with, and then your teacher's like, no, absolutely not, pick a different partner.
Because then your teacher's like, does the assigned partner thing rather than let you pair up with the person you want to.
My mom told me when I think it was 7th grade, she went to the parent-teacher conferences, and my teacher told her that I was quite the social butterfly because no matter who she sat me next to, they became like my best friend in class. Because she was like, typically the kids all have their like little friends, and if you separate their friends, they won't talk to other kids. And she's like, nope, not your kid. Your kid's just like, hi, we're gonna be best friends
turns
now.
Out you didn't stop talking to anybody ever, even then.
No. It's like, well, okay, yeah, and you know that at work, it's like whoever's next to me, I'm like, we're gonna be best friends now. Except you. Don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I do know what happened there.
That's my thing. I guess I think deep down it's because I'm just like, I want people to feel included. That would make me sad.
To love me.
I desperately need attention.
So it's all attention-seeking behavior.
Yeah, I told you that. That's why we started this podcast. You and I both desperately need to be the center of attention.
No. I don't like being the center of attention intentionally. I'm okay with being the center of attention when it happens by pure happenstance.
Right, and if people happen to stumble upon this podcast, well, there you go.
Exactly. But like, if they wanted me to record it live, I wouldn't do it because that's intentional to be the center of attention.
Okay. Sorry. Center of attention, friends. I have a question for you. I know you have a big family, so I know birthdays, like, okay, I don't know this, but I feel like birthdays are celebrated, but not made to be a big deal. True or false with your family?
Well, it depends on what you mean by made to be a big deal, because like collectively speaking, no, they're not made to be a big deal. Individually, that's family by family basis, whether or not they celebrate the birthdays. Massive.
Right, okay, my question for you is, did you have a birthday party as a child that you distinctly remember? That was like your favorite birthday.
No. Okay, so
yeah,
in my recollection, I have, and my recollection, as you know, is terrible. But in my recollection, I have had a quote-unquote birthday party. Mm-hmm. At least what I would consider a birthday party. Because I've had, obviously, like, family over, had the whole party, cake, whatever shebang. But I've never had, like, the birthday party with, like, the decorations and, like, the inviting all the friends over and the yada, yada, yada. Like, never done that.
Okay, that's right. Because that's how we got on the other day. I said I would throw you a Chuck E. Cheese birthday for your 30th.
Yeah.
And invite your friends. And not throw you a birthday party. Okay, that's right. I do remember having this conversation now.
Because I've never had like a traditional birthday party. But I wouldn't say that like our family didn't celebrate birthdays. We do. In some ways, it's less so now. But like what we do now is because there's enough of us. It's sort of the celebrating each month for like all the people in that month. But like that's on a. I almost said corporate basis, which is weird to describe family gatherings as corporate. But you know what I mean? Like on a corporate basis, it's like differently.
I love thinking that your family is like a corporation because your mom is like headquarters and then everybody else is like branches.
Yeah, she's the original like start location. Everyone else they
Like
franchised.
you're the Eric branch of your family.
Yeah, I'm the
So
Eric franchise. The business is starting slow.
when you go to your sister, when you go to your sister's house, you're like, I'm going over to that branch.
Yeah, I'm going to a different branch. My branch isn't growing very quickly. There's no other employees.
There's no employees here. We don't support small business.
Yeah, there's no employees at my branch. Some of the branches are doing really well, though.
Some of the branches are doing really well. That's so funny. Well, okay, I was just wondering because I was thinking about just like birthdays and especially when you're a kid, having like your birthday is like the biggest deal for you, but then
Yeah.
also birthday parties are a really big deal. And so then I was just wondering like if you ever had a birthday party or something that, you know, you're like, that was a cool birthday, you know, but I
mean,
wasn't sure because I know that
I have birthdays that I remember and I liked, but I don't.
yeah.
Okay, I say I remember. I have birthdays that I remember sometimes, but not right now that I like that are good memories.
Now that you're on the spot, you're like, have I ever had a birthday?
I mean, you know how my brain works, my memory works. No, the answer is if I haven't like taken the time to create a list, there will be no memory of any birthday that has ever happened ever.
I just feel like maybe you should take up journaling because I think it would be such a good read for you. You just go back and like relive this life you forgot you had.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If I took up journaling, it would probably be like one entry a year, and it would be really short because I'd forget to do it the rest of the time.
Well, I think that's why you'd have to make it a habit.
Me?
You'd have to set like a little reminder on your phone and then journal when the reminder comes up.
Are you kidding? I barely remember to do my Duolingo every day.
Yeah, how is that going for you?
Going quite well. I'm at like 168 days.
But do you remember any of it?
Yes, actually.
Well, see how repetition.
So I'm supposed to read the same thing in the journal every day?
Yes, every day. And that way when you go back to read it, you're like, wait a second, I'm noticing
that's
a pattern.
How you create crazy person journals. Every single page is just the same exact entry, but a different date at the top.
Or you could look at it like, what's her name in 50 First Dates? She was very happy, and she lived the same day over and over.
I mean, yes, but I don't think she had a journal that was the same thing in it every single day.
Did she not?
No, because
I thought she did at first.
Journaling everything that happened that day so that she could try to catch up on like her life. Also, can you imagine how weird it would be to wake up every single day in your brain? Like, let's say you wake up tomorrow, it's right now, and yet you wake up and every single time you've got like 3 kids and like an entirely different life, and you have all these journals and stuff saying, "Hey, this is what's happened." But as far as your recollection, it's no different than today.
I do say this every time Trey and I watch 50 First Dates. I get it, right? When you wake up and everything seems normal, right? Then you're like, oh, okay, this is weird. I can take in my surroundings. And she like watches the movie or let's say reads a journal or whatever. Especially like for being a woman, I'm like, can you imagine waking up and you're like 9 months pregnant? You'd be like, what happened?
Yeah, that's also.
Was I in a coma?
Yeah. No, but the other thing that I want to know about that is how long does she have to sleep for it to reset in her brain? Like, if you take a 20-minute nap, do you lose everything that happened in the first half of that day?
That is interesting. Or do you think it's like a sunset thing? Like she's fine until sunset?
So it's like a magical thing?
Like
it's like a Cinderella situation?
Well, no, they say people, is it dementia? There's like sundowner syndrome that like, you know, they might have a rough time during the day, but it gets really bad at night for some reason. So maybe she has kind of the same thing going on where it's like as soon as it gets dark, you know, then
like her
brain's
brain has
like,
such a good inherent sense of time that the second the clock rolls over from midnight to 1 o'clock, it's instantly like, you know what? Forget everything. Start over.
Have you ever played one of those games? I think My Time at Portia, maybe My Time at Sandrock does this, I don't know, where like you're playing the game, you're running along, and then the clock in the game hits like 2 a.m. and your person just knocks out. You wake up back at home and they're like, hey, it's a new day.
Out of curiosity, why did you reference both of those games but not Stardew Valley?
The Stardew Valley, I couldn't remember. Does it do the same thing?
And that's
I don't remember that.
At least in my brain, that's like the OG of like...
The only thing I really remember about Stardew Valley...
Because I know people are going to come after me for this. The OG of like Life Sim Farmer games would have been like the Harvest Moons or some of those kinds of things. But the OG of... I don't think The Harvest Moon I grew up playing, which was the one on the GameCube, like A Wonderful Life, I think is called. I don't think did like a after a certain point your character will pass out. Your character will pass out if you don't sleep, but it takes like 2 days or 3 days straight. It's not like at a certain time every single day. Whereas like Stardew Valley, I think was one of the first ones I played that at a certain point you will pass out if you haven't gone to bed yet.
Fun. The only thing I remember about Stardew Valley is that Shane is really problematic.
Shane is so problematic. And then you're like, you marry that guy, it'll make it better. And then you find out he's still problematic even after the fact.
I know, because me and my sister shared a farm and she married Shane. And we would just laugh sometimes because I'm like, yeah, I'm down by the cliffs and Shane's over here. He's not sounding so great. And she's just like, I don't know what's with him.
He's got issues.
I tried to marry Harvey personally.
My mom,
I tried really hard.
Played that game, married Harvey, and then immediately divorced him because she's like, this guy's useless. I don't even get any of the money from the store.
The store? I mean, he runs a doctor's office.
Wait.
There's like ever one person in there.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Most of the time you go in there and nobody's even in there as a patient.
Well, you're right. It was that one, not the store. But she's still mad that
I spent a lot of time courting this guy. I remember.
She wants so she desperately in those games wants the spouse to be useful. She wants them to actually like when you pick one, you get a portion of like their income and like they do more than just exist.
That's hilarious.
Which I have yet to play a game in which that's the case. They always just exist, and at best, they might water your crops once in a while.
Hey, I think that's helpful. You know, sorry, tangent. Me and my mom were talking about gardening today, and she was just saying how like cause she's in Florida, and so she was just saying with all the insects and the heat and the sun, right? It can be challenging, for sure. But then I was laughing because I was like, I've become so lazy about gardening here because I bought these like sunshades. So my plants get sun, but they don't get hot. They don't get fried or anything. And then last year, Trey installed a drip system in my garden. So I don't even have to think about watering my plants anymore. And then when it rains a lot, Trey shuts the sprinklers off. So then I don't even think about it being overwatered. I've come to a point where almost like I put the plants in and then Trey takes care of them from there.
You've gotten to the point where you're just incredibly lazy when it comes to your garden.
Right. Yes. And so when you were like, oh, sometimes they water the crops for you. And I was like, yeah, they do.
Sometimes your spouse waters the crops for you.
Sometimes your spouse just takes care of the watering. And I'm like, that's great. I love it. I'll come back around and harvest later.
I get lazy with gardening in Colorado, mostly because depending on the season, especially summer, if it decides to be one of those summers, it's that we get that thing where it like rains every afternoon. I get really lazy about the watering because I'm like, it'll be watered in the afternoon anyway.
It's fine. How are your plants doing this year so far? Did you plant them all?
They're doing
because your spouse isn't watering them.
Because my spouse isn't watering them. My non-existent other employee of this franchise isn't watering them. No.
You're really gonna have to have a talk with your staff.
Yeah, I really am. No. What it is that, for mine at least, is that a combination of the fact that I have the dog, which is like she has a habit of, if not sleeping on them, walking on them.
I told you to put a little cage around your garden.
I don't have a cage to put around the garden. Remember
you just fenced in your whole yard and you couldn't fence in your garden.
I fenced in like one fence. It wasn't the whole yard. I was just cutting the yard in half.
Okay, go on.
Between that and the weather, because we've gotten a couple of those like kind of almost Haley days and stuff, they're not doing incredibly well. Let's put it this way. They're alive. They're not thriving, I don't think. But they're also like, it's pretty early on, so they're not that big and they're still trying to get established. So we'll see.
Well, best of luck.
I mean, everything was free, so I'll take it.
Yeah, that's going to be fun though, is if you get to harvest anything, you'll be like, this cost me nothing. I watered with rainwater. I didn't buy the plants. It'll be the best produce you get.
I'll be happy.
What do you have right now? You have tomatoes and peppers. Do you have anything else?
Types of tomatoes, because I have the ones you gave me, and then I also have the ones my mom gave me, which are like, there's like a white.
That's right.
There's like a. I don't even know what they're called, but they're like a white something or other type tomato thing, and then there's like heirloom tomatoes, I think, or something else in there. No.
But I should have given you corn seeds. You could have tried corn.
I have squash. I have some spaghetti squash, and I have some zucchini plants. I have two plants that we don't know what they are, but my mom was like, we don't know what these are, and I was like, I'll plant them. I don't care. And then I've also got a bunch of herbs. So I have like dill and parsley and basil and one or two others that I'm drawing the blank on which ones they are.
Mm.
Oh, cilantro. I've got cilantro out there.
Ew.
Cilantro is fantastic. You're crazy. Anyway,
No, cilantro's gross.
speaking of which, I don't know. There's a thing about that. But anyway, first, finish my thought. I also have 3 sunflowers because sunflowers are the coolest flower. I like sunflowers.
Yes, I want to grow sunflowers.
But I was told when I took these sunflowers that they were like short-ish ones, like reasonable ones.
Yeah.
So I planted them in the dead smack middle of my garden. Now, I think the sunflowers are all going to die because I think they've all, like, half of their stems have snapped, which is terrible. But whatever. If they grow,
Awful.
I found out after the fact that these are ones that can grow up to like 8 to 10 feet tall.
Which way does your garden face? Like northeast?
Cassie, you're asking somebody who doesn't know directions very well.
I'm just trying to vaguely remember your house layout. Whatever. Either way.
Which side
you don't
does
have to worry
sunrise
about
on? Sunrise is in the east, right?
Yeah.
West. East? East. Sunrise is in the east, right?
I hope you never get lost in the wilderness.
Sunrise
You're gonna
is in the
die.
east, right? Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so the garden is on the east side of the house.
Okay, that's what I thought. So, okay, you don't really have to, because I was thinking even if the sunflowers got big, maybe that would be nice, because then they could shade your plants like in the afternoon, but you probably don't really.
Dead center.
But the house, I was going to say, but the house will do that for you, so.
The answer is we'll see how it works this year, and then next year I'll do better. I'll make adjustments.
No, I think for your first year gardening at this house, I think you're going to do great. I think it's going to be fine.
I think you're
It's all learning. Well, no matter what, you're going to learn something this year. And the next year will be better. You know?
But even if I didn't have a garden, I'd learn something this year.
What'd you learn last year?
Last year?
Mm-hmm.
Last year I learned to not... I'm trying to think of anything at all.
I sort of really stuck.
Well, I was actually trying to come up with a joke, and I was drawing a blank on a joke. So instead it just ended up, last year I learned blank.
I can't wait for all the things you're going to learn.
Why does that feel like a trap? Why do I feel like you know something I don't know?
I mean, I like the idea of you being miserable, but that's a lot of effort that I don't.
That's because you don't put in.
I don't know if you remember how the last month I called it Manic May, Mayhem May, Miserable May. All right, it was
Marvelous
miserable.
May.
It was a rough month, and it's not over. So I just don't think I even had the capacity.
I hate to break it to you, but May is over.
I meant the horrors that came from May.
That's called life.
Right, but you know the seasons of life. I'm in a rough season.
See, I go through seasons of life, all of which are fantastic because I'm an optimistic person, so it's always great. But you go through seasons of life that are always tragic because you're a terrible person. Also,
not always tragic.
What?
They're not always tragic. I have some wonderful seasons of life.
Always tragic.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is because you're tragic, so therefore your life is tragic.
That's not true.
That is true.
One of those things is true.
That is science. That is science right there. Look it up.
Oh, okay. Do you have an article I should reference in particular, or you just type in
Google,
"life is tragic"? Because I am.
Tragic wife, no. Tragic life equals. What was the point I was making?
Isn't it that you have a tragic personality equals tragic life?
Oh yeah, tragic personality equals tragic life.
All right, hang on. Tragic.
Wait, you're actually Googling this to see what it says?
I would love to know where you got your reference.
You're never supposed to Google the things I say. Just take it at face value. What's your results?
I'm not seeing a lot here, to be honest with you.
Nothing says that if you have a tragic personality, your life is going to be worse.
The tragedy of life is what dies inside a man while he lives. But I'm a woman. That doesn't apply.
That's a metaphor for your life specifically. Whoever wrote that about you.
Do you want to guess? Do you want to guess who wrote that?
I feel like it was written by Edgar Allan Poe. I don't know. Or Robert Frost. Or T.S. Eliot.
It was Albert Einstein.
See, called it. First try.
Life is tragic and absurd, and none of it has any purpose at all.
That's
dark.
That sounds like Lewis Carroll.
T.C. Boyle.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Sounded like something that like a Alice in Wonderland type character would say. So I'm like.
Tragedy is a tool for the living to gain wisdom, not a guide for which to live. So see.
That is totally like That is like a Jane
That's how
Austen
I
kind of
roll.
quote.
Robert Kennedy.
See? Called it.
Yeah.
Same person.
Nailed it.
You
Nailed
heard it
it.
here, folks. Robert Kennedy and Jane Austen are the same person. One of them was a pen name. You decide which is which.
Oh, a few bad chapters does not mean your story is over. It doesn't have a reference on that one.
Yeah, well,
so unfortunately, I cannot credit.
That was probably the one and only Pitbull. Doesn't it sound
That's
like
true.
something
I
you'd say?
remember
It sounds like a Pitbull.
Right probably in a song.
Did you just look up quotes about tragedy?
Well, it was when I Googled it. It just listed quotes about tragedy.
The world is a tragedy to those who feel, but a comedy to those who think. By some guy named Horace Walpole.
We don't know anything about Horace Walpole?
I don't. Am I supposed to? Is that someone I should know?
No, I have no idea.
I mean, I guess I could... Okay, hold on. Who's Horace? He's a prominent figure of the 18th century and is known for his literary works, including the first Gothic novel, The Castle of Otranto?
Why are we so dumb?
Is this someone we should know about?
I don't...
The first
maybe
Gothic
you.
novel
You're
seems
the
like
writer.
someone... Yeah. I feel like I should know who that is. That seems problematic.
Can't keep up with everybody.
Hey.
There's too many people to be important.
Show me a hero, and I will write you a tragedy. F. Scott Fitzgerald. That guy, I do know who it is.
So proud of you.
You're so proud of me. You should be. Hey, there's a quote here about tragedy from some guy named Karl Marx. Do you have any idea who that is?
Carl. No.
Wait, are you being dead serious
Isn't
right now?
there I mean, yeah, I am. Isn't there the Marxism or something?
Marxism, yeah.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
As a joke, like, we all know who Karl Marx is. I did not think you would actually not know who it is.
I mean, like, it's one of those, like, I know, but I don't know. You know what I mean?
The quote is, history repeats itself, first as a tragedy, second as a farce, in case you care.
How do you know if you're in the tragedy?
Well, does your life feel more tragedy or farce right now?
Right? Well, I just mean, like, it repeats itself. But at what point do you know if it's the first time or the second time or the fifth time? You know?
Like where are you in the cycle?
Yeah.
I think you're currently in tragedy.
Do you... Okay, sorry. I need to backtrack for a second. Do you ever think that it's a little insane how much we're supposed to know?
No. I don't... Well, okay. I think it's a little insane how much you're supposed to know, air quotes on the supposed to. I also think that you don't need to know that much because look at me, I'm succeeding at life so far and I don't know much.
Yeah, just really...
And yet, on the flip side to that concept of not knowing much, I feel like there's some categories of things where, like, you listen to other, like, people on, like, other podcasts or whatnot, and you're like, how in the heck do you not know these things? Like, there are... things that I don't get it. I don't get how they don't know that. But then I guess there are probably people listening to ours that are like, how do you not know who that guy was that I already forgot his name?
Walpole. What was it?
Walpole? No, that was the book he wrote. It was hold on, quotes about tragedy. Oh, it was Walpole. It's Horace Walpole.
All seriousness, I'm just like, listen, I think I've told you many times. I don't feel like I know a lot about any one thing, but I know a lot about a bunch of little things.
I don't know a lot about a little, but I know a little about a lot.
Yeah, and it's just, yeah, it's hard but that's the thing is, like, sometimes I think people really try to make other people feel bad for not knowing something that's supposed to be so obvious or basic, but it's like, we can't all know everything. That's too much information.
Oh, come on. You don't want to be a walking, talking encyclopedia?
No, I don't want to be obnoxious to other people.
You already are. Too late, Cassie. We both have that in hand at this point.
Well, I guess since we've already failed.
Might as well turn into an encyclopedia. No. But on that topic of like the people making other people feel bad for like not knowing things, I saw this thing that was talking about like how you know the thing that everybody does. I do this. You do this. Everyone I know does this. But like when you find out someone hasn't seen something like a movie or a book or whatever, or like a TV show or something that like is something that to you is like an iconic thing, and you do that like, what the heck? How come you haven't seen that? I can't believe the like yada 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 yada. And how it was saying like it was saying something along the lines of like that's actually actually more harmful than good because it makes it like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't remember what it was, but it was talking about that concept that people do that and they're like, that's the absolute worst way to try to convince somebody that they should watch it. It's a better reaction to be like, oh, it's really good, you should watch it, and just move on rather than like the over the top, how the heck have you not seen this kind of thing?
Well, because then you make them feel silly for not. And like, I know what you're saying. Everybody does it. even if you don't mean to, right? And everyone makes the comment of, how do you not know that, right? I'm sure I've done that too. I don't mean to. It's just it's just natural kind of thing. But it does always kind of make me laugh when it happens, because just like, you can't know everything, you know?
Well, and even like
Be
pop
crazy.
culture, there's a level of there's so much of it, and it's changing so quickly on a day-to-day basis that's like you're never going to be able to keep up with everything.
I think you and I do that a lot to each other. I mean, I feel like it's in good humor. Like, we're not actually being like, oh, you should have known that, you know?
To be fair, there are a couple that are legitimately, how do you not know this? But for the most part, yeah.
Well, no, and that's what I'm saying. I think we both can feel that. There is a level of, like, pop culture things that I don't know, and vice versa. You know what I mean? There's no real way for us to both know all of it, especially when I'm not on social media. So it's very difficult.
I mean, in the grand schemes of social media, I'm not even really on social media, like the majority of them.
No, but you were talking the other day about like was it a Vine thing? I don't even remember. Yeah, I don't remember what you're talking about. But you were like shocked I didn't know about that. But I was like, I'm not on any of that stuff. So
I wish I could have been on Vine. I wish it was a thing when I was using social media, because I would have been like all for it. 100%.
Weren't you on it?
No.
No. You were too,
are you kidding?
like,
Vine
too young?
Died
You just didn't have a phone?
What, 2007, I want to say? It ended in 2017. So the 7 was right. I just missed the 1.
Okay, yeah. You know what? That actually makes more sense, because it definitely was not around when I was in high school. I should have known that when you said 2007.
The problem was I didn't really first off, I didn't get a phone until I was like 18. And then I wasn't like, I didn't use social media of any sort. I mean, I still don't really, but I didn't use social media of any sort until like way later from that. So by the time I got into like a stage where I'd been like, oh, Vine is awesome, I want to use Vine, it was already like a year, like half a year before it ended, I think. Which
I remember it being a thing, but I never watched. I never had it. I never watched anything on it.
Well, I think it's weird that I'm so like potentially into the concept of Vine when I'm so staunchly against TikTok. I think that's weird. Because it's kind of, in some ways, the same thing.
Do you think you just enjoyed the nostalgia of what Vine was?
No, I think it's...
TikTok is so big right now?
I think it's the culture around it. Because Vine at the time, in its heyday, the culture was like stupid humor, or like kind of like really like rapid fire, silly, creative jokes, right? Yeah. And I think the culture around TikTok is very different. And I don't
I want to sell you something.
It's the I want to sell you something, or the like everybody copying everybody else things.
Or I'm like, and I know it sounds silly to say like, oh, I'm just doing this for views. Like, that's what it all is, right? But I know what you mean. It's more like, I think this is funny and I want you to see it, versus I want you to see me doing something, so I'll do whatever that is to make you watch me.
It's like TikTok almost feels to me, from what I've seen, like I'm doing, and it's probably not entirely, but there's a portion of it is, and realistically there probably was a portion of Vine that was as well. But at least as far as what you see, TikTok comes across as I'm doing this for you, versus Vine was I'm doing this for me because I think it's funny. I don't care if anyone watches it. Like, that was the vibe it had.
To be honest with you, I think that's how all social media changed, because I feel like when stuff started, it's like, here's a peek into my life. If you want to see it, that's just what I'm doing. And now people kind of, I would say people kind of live to be like, oh, what will people want to see from me?
The problem is, like, social media started as a, like MySpace type thing, right? Where it's like, this is about me. This is my favorite stuff, my favorite whatever, it's about like trying to put yourself out there. And then it turned into, especially with like advertisers and the ability to make money and yada, 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 it turned into, rather than pushing yourself, you're pushing a brand, which then it turns into even if it's just you're still fundamentally trying to sell yourself to an extent, rather than just be yourself and be creative.
Oh, MySpace. Miss it.
I never had MySpace because, once again, too young and or didn't have social media.
It's one of those things that I was really into it when I was younger. And like now it's like I have that nostalgia for it, but I'm like, I would never go back.
I mean, doesn't it still exist? I thought MySpace still actually existed. Like, it's still there.
I'm sure it exists to some extent, right?
I'm going to look it up. Does MySpace still exist? Yes, MySpace still exists. As of October 5th, 2024, site is in read-only mode with no new articles published since early 2022. Although, it looks like as of 2025, media uploads are working again. Huh.
I don't know.
Not gonna
Whatever.
lie, if MySpace still existed and was like active, that looks like it's sort of not. But if it were 100% still active, I was like, we should create a MySpace page for the podcast.
That'd be so fun.
Be like, we have a MySpace page. We don't have a Twitter account, but we have a MySpace page. That'd be awesome. But it looks like
I would love to promote that to people. Like, follow us. YouTube, Instagram, MySpace.
You know how awesome that'd be, though? Maybe we could be the start of a MySpace revival, you know?
We could bring it back. We're like, do you miss the simplicity of MySpace? Come on back.
The modern day social media marketing trend thing is trying to sell yourself, right? It's sort of like this is me, this is why you should like follow me or like my content, right? So at its core, MySpace is perfectly built for that, right? Because it's presenting yourself. So in theory, it should be really popular.
It should be, but it's not.
Because
like you said, maybe we'll revive it,
right? It shows what's unique or what's special about you, and I feel like that's exactly what the current like culture is anyway for social media and stuff.
I do feel like MySpace is where most people I knew learn how to what is it called? Oh my gosh, I just had the word. It's hard getting older, man. Code.
Code?
How do I figure out the word code? I swear, sometimes.
Because it's a word you use so often in your day-to-day vernacular, clearly.
All the time. I'm like, what's the code? Constantly.
Wait, you say that like the way you said that was like you're a spy or something. You're like, I need the code to the bomb. Also, no, that was not supposed to be a very bad Arnold Schwarzenegger voice, even though it kind of sounded like it was funny.
I was wondering, I was like, was that intentional? Or?
No, it was not intentional, but it did have a vaguely Arnold Schwarzenegger vibe of like I need the bomb.
I need the code.
I need the code to the bomb.
That was better. Look at you. Already getting better at it just when you try.
Give me the code to the chopper.
It's so good. I love it.
Anyway.
I know. Who knew? Who knew you did such a good Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I mean, has that not come up before in our other game? In the voices game?
I mean, I'm sure it has. There's no way we've done the impressions game and not.
The one time it came up, I think I told you to do an Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
I don't think I did the Arnold Schwarzenegger, which would explain why we didn't know that I was capable of it.
Explain why, yeah.
It explained why we didn't know that I was basically an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression genius.
You could do it. If a cartoon version of him comes about, you're the first pick to voice them.
Rather than, actually just getting him to voice himself?
He's so busy, he doesn't have time for that.
Oh, okay. You think Arnold Schwarzenegger is that busy? What movie has he even been in recently?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's doing movies anymore, is he? But isn't he just like, he's a popular guy.
Is he retired? Is he retired from acting?
Who knows? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really follow Arnold Schwarzenegger that much.
Follow Arnold Schwarzenegger actively?
Yes. Just, I'm not a big... It's not that I'm not a fan. It's just I don't follow. I don't really think I follow any celebrity super actively, to be honest with you.
Let's see. Upcoming.
No, I'm already looking.
He's in a movie called The Man with the Bag. He's going to be in a movie called Outrider. He's in a movie called Kung Fury 2. A movie called Manning Cast.
Apparently, he was in a TV show called Fubar, but probably the way he says it.
Fubar.
Thank you.
For 14 episodes, yeah. Mortal Kombat 1, State Farm, like a good neighbor.
It's neighbor.
Neighbor. No, he says neighbor. It's specifically, look it up on the IMDb. It says neighbor.
That's the whole commercial. The whole commercial is, remember, he's saying neighbor.
Neighbor.
And then they're like, it's neighbor. He's like, I don't hear it.
The answer is he still does act, it looks like.
Oh, yeah. So see, I told you, he's too busy.
He was in a movie called The Iron Mask.
So he's still acting, and apparently we've missed most of the things he's done. I had a side note thing that I was going to ask you about, and I forgot.
Tragedy quote?
No. It's an upcoming movie. I was going to send you a picture of it.
Is it the John Krasinski one?
No, it's like Madden, about John Madden.
Like the sports guy?
Yeah, but I'm going to send you this picture. I saw this thing, and they're like freaking out. We're like, oh, I had no idea. It was, and then I want you to tell me who both of these people are.
In what context? Like, what do you mean?
Like
am I supposed to say who I think they look like, or am I supposed to say which one I think is Madden or whatever?
Which actors do you think these are?
Well, I have no idea. Except the guy on the right kind of looks like Nicolas Cage.
Mm-hmm. And the guy on the left doesn't look like anybody to you?
I'm drawing a blank. I'm sure as soon as you say it, I'll see it, but not really.
Okay. Christian Bale.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Right? Okay. Because I don't remember, it was like an article or something, but people were talking about this movie, which, I'm not a football person, so I'm like, I don't care about this movie.
Is that
but
guy wearing
anyway,
a kilt? What is he wearing? Are those just pants?
Nicolas Cage?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just pants. What
Is
are you
that
talking
actually
about?
Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, it's Nicolas Cage.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure he's John Madden. For
Nicolas
someone
Cage
that
is
doesn't
John
know
Madden.
anything
Okay.
about this, I'm pretty sure.
Is
But
that actually
anyway,
Christian Bale?
they were like, yeah, it is Christian Bale, but they were like freaking out that they're like, oh, I had no idea that was Christian Bale. And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, pretty obvious. It's Christian Bale.
Doesn't look a lot like
You know?
Batman, but I guess he's gotten a lot older. If you cover all but the
Yeah,
bottom half
I
of
feel
his face,
like
I can
it
see the
looks-
Batmanness.
I feel like it also looks like him in that, was it Ford versus Ferrari? Is that the movie he was in?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I haven't seen
Yeah.
that movie, but I
I
can
feel
picture
like
what it looks like in it.
that looks, I feel like that looks more like him in that context.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Weird. I honestly, for some reason,
Um,
thought that you were saying it wasn't them, but it looked like them.
No. It's them, but people were acting like it didn't look like them, and I'm like,
You're like, as far as I can tell, it's very clearly them.
it's very clearly them.
Huh.
There was something about Lilo and Stitch the other day, and I meant to
The
say
new one or
to
the
you,
old
but now I don't. The new one, and I don't remember now what it was.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it. Oh, Jason Scott Lee.
Okay.
He is playing the manager at the luau, is what I believe. But apparently,
Who's the guy? That's not the boyfriend, because that guy's not the manager. He just works there.
yeah, but apparently he voiced the boyfriend David in the first movie.
Oh. Well, what do you know?
What do you know?
Did you know the voice actor for
Anyway.
Stitch is the same guy that voiced him in the original?
What? That's wild.
That's wild.
I found this out the other day because Trey and I were talking about this movie that we watched growing up. Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book. Have you ever seen this movie?
Is this not the
It's
Disney
like a-
Jungle Book?
It's like a live action Jungle Book from 1994.
I have not seen.
Have you ever? And for some reason, I don't know why, Trey and I just both had this moment where it popped into our brains. We're like, do you remember that movie? And it's like, kind of, yeah. Like, I don't know.
Like a live
I don't know
action
why I
Jungle
remember
Book
this
from
movie.
the ancient
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, but then we were looking that guy up, and then I saw that he was in the animated Lilo and Stitch and the live action Lilo and Stitch. And I was like, whoa, I had no idea. That's crazy. So, yeah.
What was he in the Jungle Book?
He was Mowgli.
Oh.
Because it's like a whole thing. It's like an adult Mowgli. I don't really remember the story. I remember watching it, but I don't totally
Was this
remember
like
the
that
story.
movie was this like a 90s or 80s version of that movie that came out like 5, 7, 10 years ago that was like Tarzan, but he was an adult? Well, Tarzan's always an adult, but you know what I mean? Like the live action Tarzan movie that came out?
I think it was something like that. I'd have to watch it again, but I think it was something like that.
Because you know what I'm talking
Where
about,
it's
right? Like,
like,
because there was that live
Mowgli
action
is grown
Tarzan
up.
movie, but it wasn't the same plot at
Yes,
all.
with the Skarsgård, one of the Skarsgårds, right?
One of the stars? What?
Tarzan.
Which Skarsgård? I mean, like the guy that plays, like what's his name?
No, it's Alexander Skarsgård
Alexander
played someone. I think he played Tarzan,
in the.
but that's different than.
Why is the picture the IMDb of him not wearing pants?
That's creepy.
What? Did you see that? He's full on not wearing pants.
Yeah, why is he not wearing pants?
He's
You meant his
full on not
actual
wearing pants.
IMDb picture. I thought you meant. It was in 2016. I have no idea why he's not wearing pants. That's.
Is he related
And
to?
he went with tidy whities. That's just a whole choice there, isn't it?
Is he related?
he
to
related-
Stellan? Yes, he is.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. That's his dad.
Stellan Star.
Right?
Ironically,
Yeah.
Stellan Skarsgård. Did you know he has the most Lego figures of him of any celebrity?
I didn't know that. That's impressive.
Yeah, because
Why?
I don't remember. It's just a thing, but because for a while there was this thing with like Lego people where I think the most was 3 characters, and then there were a couple that had moved into 4, and now he's got like 5 or something.
Oh.
Because he's got the dude from Dune. He's got the guy from
Oh.
Thor. Trying to think what else. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I know that he's the one that's got the most. Isn't that weird? Of all
That
the
is
celebrities
weird.
to have the most minifigures for Lego, I don't know why it would be him.
That is weird. Who is this guy? I can't remember that guy's name. But he does a lot of voice acting, so people are like, technically, he probably has the most.
Well, okay, yes. Oh, that's what it
D.
is. Okay,
Bradley
okay.
Baker. D. Bradley Baker has the most, but that's because he does a lot of animated voices. So
So he has Stellan Skarsgård. has the character he plays in like the new Andor show, Star Wars show.
Yeah.
He's got the pirate guy from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the guy from Thor, and I think there's a fifth one, but I'm trying to figure out which one it is. But yeah, he's got the most figures.
Because this guy, Dean Bradley Baker, has Momo from Avatar, Captain Rex, Commander Cody, Commander Fox, Commander Gree, Commander...
Okay, but by that logic, isn't that the same guy that does all the clones?
Commander Clone Troopers.
So every single clone trooper that minifigure that's been made that's not the same as the previous ones could arguably be him.
I love that he has so many Lego figures, but like most of them are Star Wars.
That's because he voices all the clones. Also,
this is crazy. Okay, Mark Hamill has Luke Skywalker, but weirdly enough, none of the Joker figures are based on the Joker he has played. That's so interesting. That is weird. Kate Blanchett has the most figures for an actress in live action roles. I wonder who they are. Let's see. Kate Blanchett, Dr. Irina Spalko.
I don't know.
I don't know what that's from. Gladriel and Hela. I forgot that she was. I forgot that she did that.
You forgot that she was Hela?
I only watched that Thor movie too. That's the only Thor one I've seen.
Yeah, because your list of Marvel movies you've seen is weird. It's not even like you saw the first couple ones. It's like you seen a bunch of random ones.
I have only seen them like sporadically and randomly. Have you seen all the Marvel movies in theaters?
No. There's a small handful I haven't seen in theaters, but most of them I've seen in theaters, probably majority of them. Very small selection of them that I've never even seen. But that small selection is ones like Eternals. I've never watched Eternals, but I also heard it was horrible.
I had heard that as well.
And that's why we're not really friends.